A very good morning, everyone. How are you all? Hope you all are keeping well and utilizing your time wisely in studies. Students, as we know, that we have already covered up the first two parts of Snapshots chapter Mother's Day in our previous two videos. Now, students, in today's video class, we shall study the last part of this play. So, let's get started. But first, student, let's very quickly recapitulate what has happened so far in the play. Students, as we know that this family consists of Mrs. Annie Pearson, George Pearson, Doris Pearson, Cyril Pearson, and Mrs. Fitzgerald, right? And students, we know that this play opens in the living room of the Pearsons, right? Means Mrs. Pearson and Mrs. Fitzgerald are playing cards, and Mrs. Fitzgerald comes to know that her husband and children do not treat her well. So Mrs. Fitzgerald asks Mrs. Pearson to be the boss of her family and not allow herself to be treated like dirt. Student Mrs. Fitzgerald had learnt some this magical powers of exchanging personalities, so she can exchange her personality with that of Mrs. Pearson and set the members of the Mrs. Pearson family all right. So, student, what happened is that after a lot of hesitation, Mrs. Pearson agreed to do so. And soon after their personalities are exchanged, students, Mrs. Pearson now becomes bold and dominating, and Mrs. Fitzgerald too. Means Mrs. Pearson, who was very docile and very submissive and polite, after exchanging personality, student, she becomes bold and dominating. So now, student, their appearances have altogether changed, right? And now, after this change of personality, the first to come home from office is Doris, right? Mrs. Pearson's daughter. And Doris is surprised to see her mother smoking, right? And when Doris asks her if they were having tea in the kitchen, Mrs. Pearson says that she means Doris may have it wherever she likes. Doris' students, by this behavior of her mother, failed to understand, right, that what is happening here. And then student next to come in the house was Mrs. Pearson's son Cyril. And as soon as he enters the house, he also is demanding tea. And he is saying that he gave his shirt to be mended. So Mrs. Pearson points out to Cyril that he has not done that mending of his shirt, and he has not made the tea also. So even Cyril also is quite bewildered seeing this behavior of Mrs. Pearson. Now both of them are talking to each other that what has happened to mother. Both are amazed to see this kind of behavior of Mrs. Pearson. Student, while all this was going on, Mrs. Pearson's husband George Pearson enters the house. Right, and he too is amazed to find Mrs. Pearson sipping stout. Stout, stout means bar, red beer. So now, student, first of all, this up to here we have studied in the previous two lecture. Now, student, let us start. So, Mr. George first of all wants to know why Doris is sobbing, why she is crying, and then his eyes bulge to see his wife sipping stout. Student, he got extremely amazed. He disapproves of drinking at that hour of the day. George declares that he would not want any tea. He does not want any tea because he is going to the club to watch a snooker match. So he does not want any tea and he will have his supper there only. But he wonders why there is not any tea ready. Mrs. Annie Pearson hits back hard. She challenges him to dictate this kind of terms at the club. where people laugh at him, where people call him Pompey Ompy Pearson. So Pearson, for being slow and pompous, they call him Pompey Ompy Pearson, right? Right, but this thing was unknown to Mr. George that they call him Pompey Ompy Pearson. And apart from that, Mrs. Pearson, charges him with neglecting her. Cyril also confirmed that yes, Papa, at the club members call you Pompey Ompy Pearson. So George is so shocked that he leaves the room. Now, student Cyril points out to his mother that he should not have hurt his father's feelings, but she argues that it does not people good always to have their feeling hurt sometimes. Means sometimes it is good for people to hurt their feelings also. And the student, she suggests that George should not go to the club so often where he is made fun of. Now, student, there is a sharp knocking on the door, and Cyril opens the door and reports that Mummy, their silly old neighbor has come. Mrs. Pearson rebukes him for calling Mrs. Fitzgerald names. How dare you to call him silly old neighbor? Mrs. Pearson welcomes her neighbor warmly. Right? The neighbor who has undergone personality change is in fact Mrs. Pearson herself only. She is the real original Mrs. Pearson. So student, she is curious to know how things are going on in her house. When Cyril complains and shouts, the mother warns him strictly to keep quiet. She also tells her She also tells her neighbor to let her manage her family in her own way. Excuse me, let me manage my family in my own way only. And she reports that she is just putting George and two children in their faces. Right? The rough treatment will do all of them a lot of good. So now student George again enters the room and he is surprised to see the visitor. Now, student, the visitor addresses him by mistake by his first name, George. He takes offensive, but Annie Pearson sees nothing objectionable in it. So what if she has called you George only? Right? George complains that there is no tea for him. Then he is told that how the club members, yes, ridicule you, right? And they call you Pompey Ompy Pearson. So Doris, again a student, is crying and there is no tea for him, that he is told how the club members ridicule him, and Mrs. Fitzgerald now is addressing him as a George. So he asks his neighbor to let them be. Please let us, this is our family matters. We will manage our family matters ourselves only. His wife takes him to task for his bad behavior. Why are you behaving like this to a gentle neighbor? So she tells him, student, to go to his club. He shouts and calls her balmy. You have gone balmy, George calls her. But Mrs. Pearson threatens him, yes, to slap his big, fat, silly face. I will slap you, she says to George. Now, student George looks at the two ladies and in bewilderment, and he wonders why the neighbor is addressing his wife as Mrs. Fitzgerald, and he remarks that his wife is a little drunk. He is put out and speechless. Now, student, do you know who enters? Doris enters the room slowly. And now the neighbor asks her about her plan to go out with Charlie Spence that night. Student, she is offended. She asks angrily why Mrs. Fitzgerald is taking interest in her personal life. Anyway, she has cancelled the outgoing because her mother has made her feel miserable. And Mrs. Fitzgerald tells George as well as the children to leave the room and let her have a private little talk with Mrs. Pearson. Student, she assures that the outcome of the talks with Mrs. Pearson would please them all. So she wants to talk to Mrs. Pearson in private. Right? Now, student, the neighbor means Mrs. Fitzgerald with the personality of Mrs. Pearson insists on changing back. She decides that the members of her family should not be treated so harshly anymore, and Mrs. Pearson agrees to that. The student, she mutters the same old spell. Which spell? That same old, and both become their proper personality after holding hand. Mrs. Fitzgerald advises her neighbor not to go soft on them again. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, all her labor would go waste. And secondly, student, she must not give any explanation or feel sorry for the drama. Students, a tone of being tough only would work, according to Mrs. Fitzgerald to Mrs. Pearson. And she asked what Mrs. Pearson really wants her husband and children to do only. So they will do according to her wish if she is strict with them. Now Mrs. Pearson gives a list of demands, student. They should stop at home. Mrs. Pearson gives a list of demands to her family members that I want this thing at home, and I do not want these things. So, family members should stop at home for once. Number one, they should help her prepare. Number two, they should serve dinner and play a game of rummy, sometimes with one another, means with together. And she agrees to act on Mrs. Fitzgerald's advice, a student, and deal with her family with a firm hand. So this was actually the suggestion of Mrs. Fitzgerald. Now, student George Doris enters the room and look anxiously at Mrs. Pearson, but student, she smiles, and they smile back. She now unfolds her plan, and she asks for a nice family game of rummy. And student, the children now will get the supper ready. They will prepare the supper while she will have a talk with their father. Who will prepare the food? Their children. And now student all agree with her. She finally thanks her neighbor and bids her goodbye. As she walks out of the room, the family gathers around the mother. So this is all about the whole Mother's Day play, and this has been covered up in three parts. Hope you have understood it. Thank you, class.